Somewhere in a mountain valley, a group of hikers stopped dead. Buried in the earth, blade first, was a sword the size of a building. No one put it there. No record exists of who made it. And the metal, according to every test they ran, should not have survived. This is not a legend. This is not a movie. This is what happens when the ground gives up its secrets. Today, 3 ancient machines were pulled from the earth that have left the entire scientific community without an answer. Each one was buried. Each one was found by accident. And each one proves that someone, thousands of years before us, understood things we are only beginning to grasp. We start in the highlands of Turkey at a dig site called Göbekli Tepe in 1994. A Kurdish shepherd noticed a stone jutting from the hillside and called in researchers. What came out of the ground over the next decade rewrote the entire timeline of human civilization. Under 15 feet of deliberately packed earth, archaeologists uncovered massive T-shaped stone pillars, each up to 6 meters tall and weighing 20 tons, arranged in precise circles. Carved into their surfaces, foxes, lions, vultures, scorpions, cut with a level of detail that requires fine metal tools. The problem is that this site is 12,000 years old. That is 7,000 years before the wheel, 6,000 years before Stonehenge. Official history says humans at this point were nomadic hunter-gatherers who had not yet invented farming, let alone precision stone carving at this scale. But here's what most people miss, and this is the part that changes everything. The site was not abandoned. It was buried, intentionally. Every pillar, every carved surface, every chamber, covered deliberately by the people who built it, packed down with rubble and soil as if they were hiding it from something or saving it for someone. Researchers have now confirmed that only about 5% of the total site has been excavated. 95% is still underground, and ground-penetrating radar shows structures below the current dig level, older, larger, and completely untouched. Someone built this, then buried it, then disappeared. We have no idea who they were. From Turkey, we go to the bottom of the Aegean Sea and to a machine so precise that when it was X-rayed in 2006, the lead scientist on the project said, on record, that it belonged to a different history than the one we have been taught. In 1900, divers pulled a corroded lump of bronze from a Roman shipwreck near the Greek island of Antikythera. It sat in a museum drawer for 2 years, ignored. Then a crack appeared in the crust, and inside that crack, a gear, perfectly formed, over 2,000 years old. What followed was one of the most shocking discoveries in the history of science. Inside that unremarkable bronze lump was a system of 37 interlocking gears, including a differential mechanism, the same engineering principle inside the wheels of your car when it takes a corner. This device calculated the position of the sun and moon in real time, predicted solar and lunar eclipses, and tracked the schedules of the ancient Olympic Games. It even accounted for the fact that the moon moves faster at some points of its orbit than others, an astronomical nuance that European science would not independently rediscover for another 1,500 years. The gear teeth are too precise for any hand file. The inscriptions on the back panel, recently decoded using advanced imaging, are detailed operating instructions written for a user who was expected to understand the device intuitively. Here is the fact that most channels will not say out loud. The Roman orator Cicero described a similar machine built by Archimedes in Syracuse. So the Antikythera mechanism was not a single act of impossible genius. It was a survivor, the last remaining artifact of an entire scientific tradition, a tradition of precision astronomical instruments that produce multiple devices and then vanish so completely from history that we spent 2,000 years thinking we had invented the gear. One copy survived in a shipwreck. The rest are gone. Melted down, lost, buried, forgotten. We will never know how many there were. The third machine was found not by archaeologists, but by construction workers. In 1936, workers building a railway line near Baghdad dug up an ancient burial site. Among the objects they pulled from the earth, a plain clay jar, 14 centimeters tall, sealed at the neck with an asphalt plug. Inside, a copper cylinder. Inside that cylinder, suspended so it touched nothing, an iron rod. Wilhelm Koenig, the director of the National Museum of Iraq, took one look at it and recognized what he was seeing. Two metals, a sealed interior cavity, a design specifically engineered to hold a liquid electrolyte between them. It was a battery. Assembled sometime between 250 BC and 640 AD, over 1,600 years before Alessandro Volta built the first official battery in 1799.